quality shit right here, you see? But seriously, this guy is great. He's a cool programmer and he makes these interesting games, which I'm about to do one. What's also really cool about this is that you can interact with like the thing beforehand anyways. Like this. And I can just put that back together again. And also I found out you can just like yeet them all the way over there. I'm gonna make a circle. Alright, we're gonna play. Sir Isaac Newton was pretty sure he was a smart cookie. I mean, after inventing calculus and theory of gravity, he should be clever enough to do some financial investing, right? Anyway, long story short, he lost $4 million, and the nationwide speculation frenzy is known as the South Sea Bubble of 1720. As Mr. Newton later said, I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people. He sucks for him. Of course, that's not the only time markets, institutions, or entire democracies went. Hang on, this is really out. Went haywire. The madness of crowds, and yet, just when you lose hope in humanity, you see citizens coordinating to rescue each other in hurricanes. You see that especially in the internet. People find for a better word, the wisdom of crowds. But why do some crowds turn to madness or wisdom? No theory can explain everything, but I think a new field of study, network science, can guide us, and its core idea is this. To understand clouds, we should not look at the individual people, but at their connections. Boop. Let's draw a network. Each connection represents a friendship between two people. Boop. Ew. Ah! Now everyone's alone. He's done. Social connections are for more than just making pretty pictures. People look at their social connections to understand the world. For example, people look to their peers to find out what percent of their friends, not counting themselves, are, say, binge drinkers. God. Go away, rich guys, see what happens. Hey, look, everyone's connected now. So, if I connect to you two, it's gonna be 100. Still 100. That becomes, because there's 3, that becomes, still, so if I 7, 1. Hey, look, everyone's 50-50. However, I always think full people, just like how the earth seems flat because we're on it. People may get the wrong ideas about society because they're in it. Quick response to that's the thing. For example, a 1991 study showed that virtually all college students reported that their friends drank more than they did. But that seems impossible. How can that be? Well, you're about to invent the answer yourself, but you're on a network. It's time to fool everyone. Wait, I can't think about this. That their friends drank more than they did. Okay, so they're saying it's probably not true. It's probably because it has to do something with like this. So this guy's like, oh my god, everyone's drinking more than me. Oh. Puzzle time. Fool everyone thinking the majority of their friends, 50% threshold, are binge drinkers, even though binge drinkers are outnumbered 2 to 1. If you just make friends with like oh, I see. So we gotta divert one person over there. So let's go. Ah. Okay, so I'm not gonna read this yet. So everybody has 4 friends right now. 2 of them being like non-drinkers and 2 of them being drinkers. So that's why it's 50-50. Okay. Congrats, immediately the group of students believing in the prevalence of an incredibly unhealthy social norm. Good going, man. Yeah. You just used fake news. What you just called is called the majority illusion, which also explains why people think their political views are consensuous, or why extremism seems more common than it actually is. Madness. But people don't just passively observe others' ideas and behaviors, they actively copy them. So now let's look at something network scientists call contagions. Let's put aside the threshold thing for now. Below we have a party person with some information. Fake news! Ill, God! Ill, liberal, libtard. And every day that person spreads the rumor like a virus to their friends. And they spread it to their friends and so on. If you start similarly, you can't draw well. No, I can't draw. Makes sense. But despite the negative name, contagions can be a good or bad thing, or neutral, ambiguous. Strong statistical evidence that smoking, health, happiness, stuff, and, okay. Even some of that suicides and mass shootings are too. Well, that's great. Indeed it is. Anyway, puzzle time. Draw a network of rows so that everyone gets infected with contagion. You can't cut through thick lines. Just done. Yeah, done. What's the other? I mean, I gotta do it to him. This man is a people person, you see? He's basically a social butterfly. The madness spreading is called information cascade. Michigan fell for such a cascade in 1720. The worst financial situations fell for such a cascade in 2000. What was that? 2008? I'm not sure what that is. Must have just felt like life. Many police failure to be exposed to contagion more than once once they are being inflicted. So no, we have to come up with a new better way to describe how it is. And they call it complex. Ah, of course, complex. Let's bring back thresholds and the binge thinking. When you play with this first time, people didn't change the paper. Now let's simulate what happens if people start drinking when 50% of their friends do before we start to ask for what. Okay, so that's 50% because there's 2, so he's gonna start drinking. He's gonna have like 100%. He's gonna have 50% because this guy's drinking. So he's gonna be a binge. He's gonna drink 2, but since he has 3, it's gonna be 33 and then 66, so he won't drink. Yeah. This kind does not spread to everyone. The first few people get infected because although they are only exposed to 1 binge drinker, that binge drinker is 6%. Yeah. Oh, got him with that lonely. That's a low shot. That's a low stab. Well, if percent of infected friends matters. That's the difference between the complex theory and our naive, supposedly about simple contagion theory. With more than 0% infection threshold. How aren't necessarily bad. So enough about crowd. What about crowd wisdom? Ooh, I see a thing. We have a happy person who volunteers to, I don't know, rescue people in hurricanes, treat underprivileged people, or something cool like that. Point is, it's a good complex contagion. This time though, let's say the threshold is only 25%. People are willing to volunteer, but only if 25% or more of their friends do so, too. Goodwill needs a bit of social encouragement. Goodwill is the book thing, right? Well, okay, well, first off, this guy didn't even reach the threshold yet. Like, yeah. We gotta kill him off with fire. Volunteering is just one of many complex contagions. Others include voter turnout, lifestyle habits, beliefs. I don't understand how people can keep on talking without their voice, like their throat just becoming the fucking Saudi Arabia. The Sahara Desert. Anything that needs more than one exposure. Okay. Complex contagions aren't necessarily wise, but being wise is a complex contagion. So what's your real life simple contagion? Usually bits jersey like the possum has 13. Does it really now? Thinking emoji. That at least shows the power of awareness complex. Let's revisit an earlier puzzle. Thinking! Oh, no, never mind. This time with the complex contagion, it'll be a bit tougher. Try to flex it. Okay, again, we can just like bam everybody with it, but like, okay, whatever. Somehow. Again, like, I can just outsource this guy everywhere, but I want to see. Hot dog. Let's fuck him up. Oh. Hey, Lamau. Now you may think that just need to keep adding connections to spread in. Yeah, exactly. Another one. Alright. You can start below up we just spread everyone else this part there, but now let's do the opposite of that. Draw a network to prevent. Oof. Gonna kill out its source. Done so. See, while more connections will always help the spread of simple ideas, more connections can hurt the spread of complex ideas. Makes you wonder about the internet. And this isn't just a theoretical problem, this can be a matter of life. Or death! No, not bad! Well, it's inevitable. People at NASA were smart cookies. I mean, they'd used munisators to get us to the moon. Anyway, long story short, in 1986, despite warnings from the engineers, they launched a Challenger which blew up and killed 7 people. Immediate cause, it was too cold that morning. Less immediate cause, managers ignored the engineers' warnings. Why? Because of groupthink. When a group is too closely knit, as they tend to be at the top of institutions, they become resistant to complex ideas that challenge their beliefs or ego. So that's how institutions can fall into crowd madness. But how can we design for crowd wisdom? In short, 2 words: bonding and bridging. Too few connections in an idea can't spread. Too many connections and you get groupthink. Show a group that hits the sweet spot. Just connected enough to spread a complex idea. Quality. Simple enough. The number of connections within the group is called bonding social capital. We don't let this guy have friends, I know, right? It's a risky endeavor. There you go. Whoops, I did not read any of that. Whoopsies. As you may have already guessed, the number of connections between groups is called bridging social capital. It's important because it helps groups break out their insular echo chambers. Put a bridge to infect everyone with complex wisdom. Yeet. Yeet. That's not gonna do it, is it? Yeah, I don't think so. We're gonna gangbang him, that's what we're gonna do. Hey, Lamau. Like bonding, there's a sweet spot for breeding too. Try to remove so thick that the complex. What's not really hard? No way, that just hurts it, doesn't it? Bam, thick enough, am I right? Quality. I don't think I can make one thick because it's connected to everybody. connections and let's do both at the same time. Final puzzle. Try to connect within groups, buying and between groups, bridging, spread wisdom to the... Alright. Then we can just really just gangbang people. Light workman? No. What? No, we don't. Congrats, you've just drawn a very special kind of anchors with the right mix of bonding and bridging world. Profoundly important, so they're called small world. It's a small world after all. Union without uniform would be diversity. Without division, e pluribus uno out of many one. No matter how it's framed, people across times cultures often arrive at the same place, peace of wisdom. Healthy society needs a sweet spot of bond between groups and bridges between groups. That is, not this, because not that, or that, but BAM! Network sites now have a mathematical definition for this ancient wisdom. The small world network is also a mix of bonding, bridging, describes how our neurons are connected. Fosters collective creativity and problem solving, even once helped US President JFK barely avoid nuclear war. Good job, man. So yeah, small worlds are a big deal. It's all about contagions and connections. Like how neurons pass signals in our brain through past beliefs and behaviors in society. Not only do we influence our friends, but we also influence our friends' friends, and even our friends. Okay, be the change you want to see in the world. Like neurons, it's not just signals that matter, it's also connections. Too few connections and complex ideas can't spread. Too many connections and complex ideas get crushed by groupthink. The trick is to build a small world network with the optimal mix of bonding and bridging and collaboration. So what about our question from the very beginning? Why do some crowns turn to wisdom and madness? I'll do. From Newton to say NASA, not the NSA. To network science, we've covered a lot here today. Long story short, the madness of crossword crowds is not necessarily due to the individual people, but due to how we are trapped in the network sticky web. That does not mean abandoning personal responsibility, for we're also the weavers of that web. To improve your contagion, be skeptical of ideas that flatter you. Ooh, that's a good one. Be skeptical of ideas that flatter you. That's a really good one right there. Spend time understanding complex ideas and improve your connections. Bond with similar folk, but also build bridges across cultural, political divides. We can leave the wise webs, so sure, it's harder than we believe. Yeah, it is. Don't worry, I built a house. We'll all find it there. Now it's a pentagram with a star. Yeah, I just realized I can make so much in here. It's the triangle. Oh, that's what we're doing. Let's make a... What else can I make? I can make a square. Ooh, now it's a rhombi. What can I make here? Okay, that's just gonna be a line. Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we, how are we gonna do this? Let's see, this should go all the way to him. This should go to him. We'll just... Of course, this is how it works. I was trying to make something, but it didn't work out, obviously. Yeah, dude, it makes a perfect pentagram. Great try. crimes and tragedies of history are caused not by people being fundamentally good or fundamentally bad, but by people being fundamentally people. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh, damn it. Hey, look at this. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Nicky Case, he's a quality, pretty sure he's a dude. Anyway, this guy's, he makes a flip ton of stuff that's really, thought-provoking, like, very educational, but in a fun way, like this, where you can doodle shit. It's in a program. Very program and all that. So yeah, again, at this website right here. Wait, did I even show it? Okay, no, I didn't. I've been like, whew, that was obvious for nothing. Thanks. So yeah, again, Nicky Case. There's a website right here, ncase.me. That's where he just puts up a good amount of programs. He's got a ton more, basically, like probably like 10, maybe. I'm not sure, I don't count. But anyway, check him out. He's really cool, really interesting, really educational. And there's also some other stuff you can check out there with his like connections, connections, Canadians, and all that jazz. Cool. See you later.